All right, today I wanted to go over the assignments for the course, and I'll try to point out where we're going to have some kind of a modeling or review to help clarify things. But basically, this assignment, there's not really a whole lot I'm going to do as far as your uh, other videos that tie to this. But what I want you to do is to use the media to design a lesson plan, and you can choose from the possible topics below that do have an STS connection. Cloning, solar energy, genetic engineering, that's a big topic right now. Recycling's always been big. Um, anyway, you can see those examples. And basically, what I want is for you to find 3 to 4 media related reports from things like Newsweek, Time, USA Today, and it has to relate to Science Technology Society. You need to have something about the science that's in the lesson. I'd like for you to develop 10 discussion questions that is part of your lesson. And then, of course, just a 1 to 3 page lesson plan on the topic itself. And I want you to make sure that your students are active learners in the process. And I can give you one example of what I mean by active learning. For example, the BP oil spill. Maybe you're going to be doing something on uh, water pollution, and one of the things you might could make where students would be active would be have them write letters to BP. Some way that the students are actually not just receivers of information, but are actively involved in the lesson. So I'm going to be looking for that. Let's scroll on down. Tells you what the components of your lesson should be: purpose, objective, materials, procedures, and it should have an assessment of some sort. And I do have a rubric designed for this that I'll use to develop the points. The assignment's worth 20 points. Case study. I think if you look at some of the hands-on activities we're going to be doing, for example, the quality control activity, the aluminum boat activity, they are vignettes, and this is the way I want you to think about a case study. Develop a case study assignment that involves an STS issue. You can, if you're familiar with Project Wild or Project Learning Tree, those curriculum are full of case study examples. Role playing, thorough discussion, and addressing local issues are expected requirements. Submit a 1/2 page vignette with case study classroom directions. Um, it's okay to copy an idea, just not words. So if you find a case study example from the curriculum out there, just don't copy verbatim. You have to change it up some. So I have a rubric for that. It's worth 10 points. The problem solving, problem based learning. When I do the aluminum boat activity video, it's at this point you should really be thinking hard about, well, what can I have as a problem solving type activity? I do have some other examples for you. The tower building, I give you the title of the articles that you're going to read, but there are plenty of examples of what problem based learning is in this course. So basically, you do have to run it by me because I have to think about safety before you do this. It needs to be hands-on, of course. I don't know how you could do it without it being hands-on. That must involve data collection that's quantifiable. And what that means is it's got to be graphed. You can graph the data. The activity should not come from any of the articles or class assignments. I don't want you to just repeat what I've covered in class. There needs to be a couple of photos that prove you actually did it. Um, and then I'll even think about giving a little extra credit if it's something that I haven't seen before. Then there's the test and measurement, which is the quality control activity. You need to read the article by Summerall and Schillinger. And it's pretty much the same directions as the problem-solving activity. But again, I need to approve it before you do it. Make sure it's safe. Be hands-on. Data collected must be quantifiable. Activity should not come from any of the articles provided. 1 to 2 digital photos of you conducting the activity. You got to do that. Extra credit, again, for originality and creativity. Then you have an assignment where you're to read 2 articles, and basically you are to do one of the activities from the articles that we haven't, that aren't part of the class assignments. There's a lot of different activities that you could do. There are rubrics in the articles that you should go by. You have to read those articles first to do that particular assignment. It can't be the timeline or the patent activity assignment, because those are 2 assignments that you have to do as part of this course. Let me restate that differently. You can do another timeline, and you can do 6 more patent or 6 more patent items. So you can do the same assignment. You just have to do it again, not repeat the same subject matter. As far as the patent assignment goes, like I said in the video, use either Google Patent or the United States Patent Office to do the assignment. And you just have to identify these things for 6 items. I'll give you some extra credit if you can locate my patent and my father's patent. Probably need to give you a little clue on my father. My father, he's in Harrisburg, Mississippi, so that might help you find his. Then, one of my bigger assignments that I hold dear to my heart is the build a timeline. I think when you do this, you learn a lot about STS and the progression of an invention and how things change over time with the invention process. So there's a lot of directions here with this one. I don't want to just spend time reading, but there are a couple of things that are mandatory. For one thing, you do have to prove to me that you did it. For example, you need a photo of yourself as you visit the store. You should embed some audio in your slide presentation. Not that I'm going to be doing voice recognition on you, but it is something that I could possibly use to show that you actually did the assignment. So make sure you do those 2 things. I'm not going to read it to you. I've got a nice rubric that should help drive your timeline. All these things are to be uploaded on Blackboard. Some also are part of a discussion group, but every one of these things, there should be something that comes on Blackboard as far as the assignments. You do have one where you have to find some articles from NSTA journals that are about STS. And here's the point breakdown. The activity should be explained. STS connection has to be explained. Citation. A summary of the article. Don't write on and on and on. Keep it to 1 page, 2 page maximum. I am asking you to spend a little money for various assignments, but you don't have to get a textbook for this course, so I think it's a fair trade, because textbooks are quite expensive. So this one you may have to join NSTA just so you can access their articles electronically, but NSTA articles from Science Scope, Science and Children, Science Teacher, those are all in the university libraries anywhere you go. If you're near a university, then you should be able to find these journals there. So you really don't have to spend any money for that journal assignment if you want to go to the libraries. But if you like to do the ease of it home, you join the NSTA and they'll let you access, I don't know if they let you access all 3, but I know they'll let you access one journal electronically. As a student, it's also cheaper to join NSTA. And I forget what it costs, but I know it's a lot cheaper than what I have to pay. Okay, then on the biomimicry assignment, you basically have to find some examples of where biomimicry, where nature perhaps was copied to invent something that's quite useful for us in the world. And there's a couple of things for you to read. I'm going to put the unpublished manuscript on camouflage on Blackboard for you to read. In the video where I talk about biomimicry, I refer you to STEMWise. Well, the STEMWise website doesn't have that on there right now for some reason, the activity. So I'm just going to put it on Blackboard, the manuscript, for you to read it there. Also, the story of Velcro is on Blackboard for you to read. And then it has what you're supposed to put in the activity to get your point, the participants, the year, profitability, if available. You may not be able to find that information, so you do need to point that out, that it's not available. A summary of the story, and then you need to identify what's the science behind it. Serendipitous events, that's also interesting for you to find these different events. Of course, you can't tell me about the Teflon story because I've already discussed that in your video. But it's very similar to the biomimicry as far as what I expect. You find the participants, the year, the profitability, the summary of the serendipitous event, and then tell me the science behind it. We're going to do multiple activities where you'll collect data and upload that data to Blackboard. For example, we do an aluminum boat activity. We do a spoon bending activity, for a better title, that relate to quality control and problem-based learning. We also have discussion board assignment, where each Monday I'm going to put a set of questions that tie to your reading for you to answer. I will give some extra credit if you consider submitting something for publishing on our website, STEMWise. I've done everything so far for that website as far as what's on there, but we're always encouraging others to provide resources for viewers on STEMWise. And there is something for doctoral students. I don't know that I'll have any doctoral students. And it's also extra credit for other students, which involves writing a manuscript for publication in one of these journals. I know I went through this rather rapidly, but if you have any questions, feel free to email me about these assignments. I'm going to model different things that tie to these assignments, which should clarify your understanding at some point as we go along through the summer session. But in essence, this is what you got to do to receive a grade in this course. A good grade. Receive a good grade. You'll receive a grade, but receive a good grade in this course. Okay. Thank you.